There we go.
There you go. All
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Perfect. All right. So how's everybody doing today?
Good, good. Doing fine.
All good? Yeah. I heard it's supposed to rain tonight. Did you guys hear about that?
No.
It was tomorrow.
No.
Floods are coming through again.
Oh, good. It's good for the garden.
You don't
but
have
not
more
for
the
my
lawn.
basement. No, my basement got flooded a couple of weeks ago and I'm still working on it.
Uh-oh.
Now it's gonna
Uh-oh.
rain again. I'm like, "Oh, really? I thought we were done. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry
All
about
right.
that.
Yeah. All right. So at the end of the presentation, just so you all know, the PowerPoint presentation we're going to go through here today, we will be sending those out to you, and it will be in a format for you to edit yourselves. You can put in your own information, pictures, change the verbiage, language, anything you'd like. But at the end of the day, it pretty much highlights pretty much everything you guys are going to need when going on a listing appointment. Just out of curiosity, do you all have something already that you're utilizing at this point in time, if I may ask? Yella?
I really don't have Alfredo. I'm looking for one, but I really something, that's really, well prepared listing presentation. I don't.
Okay, no problem. Well, listen, I mean, you can use, like I said, again, this is just one of the templates that I have used that has, and I have tweaked it along the way and just made it my own, but I pretty much have covered everything that I think a potential seller is going to need to see and hear. You can always add, like I said, you can make it and customize it to what you feel is needed. How about you, Jill? Do you use a specific listing presentation yourself?
Yes, I have a listing presentation that I've been using for years. And I just, I coupled it with one of the
Yeah.
As you all know, right now, the way the market is, I mean, who likes to work with sellers more than buyers or buyers more than sellers? Which way do you guys go?
Sellers.
Sellers? Okay.
Yeah.
Buyers? Nobody likes to work with buyers today?
I
Interesting.
like to work with buyers. I work with buyers, actually.
Okay.
I work with serious buyers.
Serious buyers, I like that. What's a serious buyer look like today?
A serious buyer who follows the plan that the lender has given them, even if it takes them a year, year and a half.
Wow.
A serious buyer is one who listens to you, listens to your direction, listens to your instructions. I had a buyer that I've been working with for about a year and a half. She raised her credit score. She got her income up because she's a stewardess and she works for United. And to God be all the glory, going to go to settlement on October the 1st after we had 15 offers turned down. But I prefer to work with sellers, but I do work with buyers. So I like 60% of sellers and maybe 40% of buyers.
Okay. Well,
And it's way out in Timbuktu called Baltimore County. So you know that was a hump.
okay. Well, look, more power to you. I certainly, I am glad that there's agents such as you out there because they certainly are in need. And if you're that patient enough, I'm sure you're going to get certainly a number of referrals from them along the process and even after.
Yeah, but I need some ready now buyers too, you know?
Okay, well, they're out there. The thing is,
You know, A, B, and C, you know, like some A buyers, you know?
I hear you. I'm with you there as well. All right, so let's get started. So other than the fact that here we are, and I know most of you like working with sellers. So have you ever guys heard the term called listing is the name of the game? Is that something you guys have ever heard before?
Oh, yeah.
Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Well, in today's market, as you are now having to challenge yourselves as well as compete with other agents to get that next listing, as you know, here you all are going to need a plan. And a plan, when I say a plan, is getting a good listing presentation ready to go. And you're going to have to do some homework along the way. So prior to meeting with the sellers initially, what are some of the things that you as the agents have to do or prepare for in order to get in front of the sellers and then, of course, do your presentations? What are some of the things that you guys come across that you would think you would need to do? There's about 4 or 5 key issues here. There's no right or wrong answer. I just want to understand what you guys are doing to prepare yourselves for that presentation.
A CMA?
A CMA,
Exactly.
okay. Anything else?
Well, I like to talk to the seller and get a, have a questionnaire. I ask a series of questions to sort of prepare myself. And then I'll do a preliminary look at the area.
Nice. So
You know,
send
not a
that-
specific, pardon?
So Jill, do you send that questionnaire before you officially go to the property?
I talk to them. I do it actually
Oh,
conversation on the phone.
okay.
You know,
Okay.
when they contact me or when I contact them, I ask them a series of questions, you
Nice.
know, in
nice.
preparation for the appointment. And that way I can find out a little bit about the property, if they've done any upgrades, you know, things that they like about the property that I can use when I get there.
Makes perfect sense.
Okay,
Sort of
Mhm.
getting a barometer meter reading.
right,
when it comes to the
exactly.
property. I
Yeah,
like that
and also
idea.
try to get a sense of their motivation too.
That also is key there. Does anyone do the two-step process where you might drop off something like maybe a marketing materials or something related
Yeah,
to you, and then you come back the second time around? Yes?
right, yes.
Does anybody else do that? Does anybody else do that as well?
I don't do
I-
that, Alfredo. I think, you know,
Yes.
I try to, be in touch earlier and then go back and try to, get the listing at one time stuff, doing 2 times.
Oh, okay. Yell is a one-hit wonder.
One hit wonder, man. If you can do that, that's great. I'm only saying, I'm kind of old school. I like that two-step process only because it sort of kind of, warms the inevitable, and you are getting additional information to help you when you're finally there to do your presentation. Knowing a little bit more about them, their needs, their wants, it certainly is key. So again, there isn't a right or wrong way. I'm just wondering what everyone is doing today. But again, you're going to do what's best for your business, but there isn't a wrong answer to this. All right.
Well, Alfredo, I mean, most of these sellers, I'm very familiar with their situation. So that's why, for one step would work out pretty well.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. And if that's been working for you, by all means. So I'm hearing CMAs, I'm hearing sending a survey or questionnaire beforehand. Anything else that you're doing? Anything else?
You know, it,
Timeline. I think one of the things we are looking at is maybe timeline. What is their timeline?
Their timeline. Well, certainly you're going to want to do their timeline. Now, their timeline certainly has to do a lot with their motivation, right? Their motivation to sell the property sooner than later, which sort of gives you a timeline as to when you're going to need to put this on the market, correct?
right,
Yes.
Okay. But the true motivation behind them moving, and as soon as you know the timeline, that is also directly proportioned to the price, correct?
Exactly.
Right.
You're absolutely right, Alfredo.
All right. So
right.
when you price a home, you're going to need to price it right. If you price it too high, what happens? You price it
It
too,
sits.
it sits, becomes stale.
Mhm.
You're
And
basically
then they try to blame you for it.
buyers away. Correct. What happens when you price it too low?
You have
It gets
offers.
Mm-hmm.
bombarded with offers and you makes your life harder.
Makes your life harder. You get bombarded, you get multiple offers, but
Mhm.
ultimately, when you're selling it so low, you're practically giving it away. Remember, at the end of the day, you're trying to sell a home for the top price as quickly as possible, right? And your seller
Yes.
needs to know that, and you need to advise them when certainly pricing these homes. Now, I do know somebody said earlier CMA. What does a CMA stand for? What does everybody
Well,
use the terms?
Comparative market
Comparative market
analysis.
analysis.
Comparative market comparative. You know what? I've been doing this for years. I don't like the comparative. You know what I like to do? I like to say it's a competitive market analysis because you're
Oh,
against other sellers in the market. So if I would say CMA, don't use the word CMA because every other agent's going to walk in through that door for that listing appointment is going to be saying, oh, I got a CMA, I got a CMA. No. I have a competitive market analysis, which I have done my homework and I've actually made tours for you to see. That was the thing I was looking for to see if anybody had done this. Has anybody ever set up a tour for homes in the neighborhood that you're trying to get a listing for to see if you can also see those same homes with those potential sellers to show them who they're competing against, what those homes really look like today, how they're staged, what price range they're actually at? Has anybody ever done that?
I've done that when I came across a seller that seemed extremely unrealistic.
And you know what? I completely understand. It's not going to be for everyone, but I was
Mhm.
safe and sorry. I would rather be on the cautious side. So I normally set at least 2 or 3 appointments just for them to understand what it is they're competing against, because you can tell them, show them, you can bring blueprints and pictures online, but so they don't actually physically walk into those other properties, see how the homes are being staged, how they're being priced, and how it shows, they're really never going to understand what has to be done to their home in order for their home to sell quickly for the most amount of price, correct?
Right.
Okay. So one last thing before we get to that appointment. So other than the CMA, the survey, the questionnaires, potential, a viable appointment. Let me go back one step here, and I'm so sorry I'm going back again here, but this is very important. So when you're making up the appointment to meet with the sellers with your listing presentation, you've got your paperwork, you've got your PowerPoint presentation, you have everything. But before you physically walk into that property, do you call the day ahead, or do you call maybe the day of to reconfirm that appointment?
The day before.
The day before,
Day
nobody
before.
does it the day of, the day before still. Okay, all right, no problem.
Mhm.
Who has to be present at that time? You're,
Owner.
right?
All the decision makers.
All the decision makers. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. You know, at the end of the day, if you're not actually speaking to everyone who is a owner of that property, meaning husband, wife, child, grandmother, whoever is on the deed, and where do you guys get this information from?
Public records.
Public records. Or in the other event, when you call ahead and you will ask those key questions. Hey, I understand you wish to sell your home. That's great. So I'm looking at the tax record and I see at all, meaning somewhere along the line, somebody got added to this deed. Are all the decision makers going to be present? Because at the end of the day, wouldn't it be nice to know that you are actually speaking to all sellers? Because if not, if you're only speaking to one party or two of the three, you really aren't going to get a listing, correct?
Yes.
You've wasted your time. So I'm looking to make sure you guys are getting at least what is known as a viable appointment. So if you're calling the day before or the day of, reconfirm and make sure that all parties who are sellers, owners are going to be present. Makes your job a whole lot easier. And lastly, and I know agents, look, I've been out there with you guys as well. If the appointment's at 5 o'clock, please show up at 4:30 or 4:45. Don't show up at 5 on the clock. You're late. That's the last thing they want to do. If this is the way you're going to set your business and you're not even arriving at your appointments that you've scheduled, they're waiting for you to come in. They've prepared. I guarantee you they've done something to the home before you're walking in. So please make sure you show up on time as well. All right. Someone said timeline earlier. I think it was Yella. Yella, you're saying something about their timeline, correct?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So the timeline meaning what's next? When they sell this property, what comes next? Are they moving out of state? Are they downsizing? Whatever the case may be, because that's really going to come home. It's going to make it easier for you to understand what you're working with and what kind of a client you're having. Now, when you're going to a listing presentation, is it kind of like an interview, right? Isn't it?
It is, yeah, of course.
Yeah, basically, yes.
So they're interviewing you, but aren't you interviewing them as well?
Yes.
Okay. So have you ever been to a listing appointment where it looks great, but something's just not right? Maybe the chemistry is not there, or you're just not getting that positive, fuzzy feeling of a client that you're going to wish to engage with, spend your marketing time, your money, the open houses, the showings, the negotiations, the inspections, the appraisals. I mean, it goes on and on. So doesn't it go both ways? Because you're there to also interview them, correct?
Correct.
Yeah,
Is
absolutely.
anybody not taking a listing because of that?
Yes.
Referred it out? No?
What's that?
So you've never taken a listing that you would say to yourself, 3 months later, 6 months later, I still get to drop the price. They still won't clean the carpets or cut the grass. And oh my God, why did I take this listing? That's never happened to you. No one. Really? Really? Oh, come on. You don't want to admit it. It has happened. It has happened. It's happened. All right. Well, listen, let's get started here because I know we're going through a lot of topics, but let's get into the nitty gritty here. So highlighting your time as far as the things that you'll do before you get to the property and then get a listing presentation. So now I put this together. This is something I've used in the past. It works for me. I've tweaked it along the way. We will be sending everyone a copy so you can also do the same as well. You can add your own pictures, your name, your contact information, emails, websites, whatever you would like, and you can personalize it there as well. All right, so the first one, let's go ahead and get started. Let's see here. All right. All right, so the 5 proper things that you will need to understand in going through this listing presentation, we're going to go through each of these topics, which is proper presentation. When we say preparation, meaning the home has to be prepared, meaning the homeowner is going to have to take some time. Potentially, you're going to have to hire some either a cleaning crew, a gardener, a plumber, a landscaper, what have you. Now, if I could ask you now here, do you have by any chance a dream team or a list of potential referral clients that you can refer to your clients here, like a plumber, an electrician, a cleaning company, a stager, any of these things? Do you all have those within your database?
Yes, I do. But honestly, I don't like referring people anymore because in the past where I have referred people, they've made me look bad. You know what I mean?
They make you, okay, well,
I
then
mean,
maybe
not make me look bad, but then it's an attachment to me. You know, even if it's the person you referred's failure to do their job complete or up to par to the client's, liking, it will always come back to me. So usually I don't do that. If I do clean up the property and cut the grass and all that good stuff, I'll do it on my part out of my expense, just to probably try to get the listing above any other realtors. You know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying. And it's nice that you say that, but at the end of the day, just be cautious.
Elio Cruz, anyway. Elio Cruz.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear your voice coming through. My biggest concern sometimes there is where agents sometimes tend to dip into their pockets beforehand. And I hope that you're not spending too much money of your own personal money. But if it's cutting the grass, I got that. If it's cleaned the gutters, okay, I hear you. Carpets, okay. Clean the house, okay. Now we're starting to add a little bit more into that. So be cautious offering that as a service, because if you do, we're just going to get around. Your clients are going to refer you and going to say, no, Ellie is the kind of guy who's going to cut the grass, clean my home, paint my garage. Yeah, he's your guy. He can come and do all those things for you. So,
Alfredo, I think at the end of the day, if the listing doesn't sell, then why in the world you want to get stuck? Spending all your money on that.
Thank you. That comes right back down to exactly. So if you're going to get a listing and if you're going to be dipping into your budget, please make sure you get the listing signed first, and it's going to be for the price.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, it's going to sell.
Right.
Okay. If that's what the game is, then I completely understand. But don't just take a listing and then under the sun and then have it not sell, and you're out of money.
No, yeah. I feel like every listing has its own situation. Maybe as an out-of-state seller, hey, I don't have enough time to come by, and they may be looking for an agent who's very handy, who has a team to maintain the property, throughout the listing,
Well,
I feel like it all depends on the situation. That's why the interview questions, like Joe said, your questionnaire is very important prior. So when you do get there, you have the right questions to ask. You know what I mean?
That is correct. No, you're absolutely correct, Emily. Thank you for saying that. And it's making sure you are completely aware of your client's situation so that you know how best to proceed and go ahead and steer that listing in the right direction. So other than preparation, professional staging, pricing, of course, target marketing and skillful negotiations. We're going to go through those in detail as well. The professional staging, has anybody ever used a stager before, or are you all staging yourselves? Just out of curiosity.
I have not used a professional stager. I've reached out to a couple that ended up, my client just recommending things for my client to do, and it's turned out fine. I use a professional photographer, but not a
Yes.
professional stager.
Okay, good.
So if anyone knows a good one, I'd really appreciate the
You know what? I'm
referral.
going to put together a list of individuals that we are going to be utilizing. So I'm just, like I said, again, I'm referring, not to say that I gave them your information, but it's people who I've used in the past who I know that can get the job done. Now, when it comes to staging, there are certain different price tiers to the services they provide. The one that I like to use is just the basic. It's like maybe $300 where they come out for 2 or 3 hours at a time. And basically they go through and recommend the things that need to be moved, the things that need to be painted, or how to decorate. So they're not actually doing the staging themselves, but they're giving you exactly what they would do if they were to do the whole thing. But it sort of gives the homeowner and you as well a roadmap as to what's going to need to be done and how to get things done at a cheaper rate. Because if you actually have a professional trainer to the stage actually come out and do everything, they're going to take everything out of the house. I'll tell you, they completely take everything out and bring all of their stuff in. And that's going to cost you at least $3,000–$4,000.
Right.
I've heard prices, outrageous prices, but again, it depends also on the level of the home. I mean, hey, we might just get that $1 million listing and you're gonna be like, yeah, get a stager, get a painter, get everything, because you know what your commission's gonna be, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
you might get that lead. But either way, like I said, just be cautious on how you're gonna do it. Now, here's something interesting, and I'm not sure if anyone has ever attempted to do this. Now, pre-inspections, if you're not ever thinking of potentially having a home inspected, I would recommend it. And again, like you said, it's going to be based on who the seller is and what their circumstances and timeline, budget. But if I do a pre-inspection on a home that I'm about to list, I think it's a better idea. It's a better to know what's actually wrong with the property so that we can handle and take care of those issues. Because if not, it's going to be even much more costly once a buyer comes through, they bring their inspector, and then an easy fix like a light bulb that's out, he's going to say, well, that's going to take an electrician. That's going to cost me $200 to put a light bulb. I don't think so. Or they may say something to the effect, well, we're going to need a railing that's 2 inches higher than the allowed amount. There you go. There's more expenses there. So has anybody ever done a pre-inspection before taking a listing?
Yeah, well, not before taking the listing. I recommend to the seller a pre-inspection. And my last listing on Sutler Terrace, she did do the pre-inspection and she made some repairs that were needed, which was helpful. Now, the only thing about to me, a pre-inspection could be a double-edged sword, just like an appraisal could be a double-edged sword.
I was going to get there, but thank you for saying it. Okay, go ahead, continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because we went through, she fixed all the major things. We went through the list. And, the electrical, the plumbing, the HVAC, we got taken care of. And then the buyer's inspector came in and found some other things that the first inspector didn't find. Okay. So, we ended up, it worked out well, okay, because, the major stuff was done. And what I always like to explain to my clients is that, if you do a pre-inspection, you can hit all the major stuff, because anything you do after you get a contract has to be done by a licensed this, a licensed that, regardless of whether it needs it. Just like you said, if the light bulb is out, they're going to think, oh my God, the electrical is shot. So I tell them that if we do it before, you get to do it with someone who is capable of doing it. I don't mess around with the heavy stuff. If it's electrical, we need to get a licensed electrician in there. If it's plumbing, we need to get a licensed plumber in there, because we want to make sure that nothing happens to come back and bite the seller. But, certain things a handyman can do. But if we wait till after contract, then it's got to be a licensed person.
Exactly. And then here's my other idea, and I wanted to bring this up now that you said for the pre-inspection. Has anybody ever gotten a home warranty plan for your sellers when you go?
Yeah.
on?
Yeah.
Because it's a good idea to do that, because a lot of these expenses or repairs that you're going to have to do, if let's suppose you put the house on the market, let's say today, and you went ahead and enrolled them into a home warranty plan, and home inspection is this weekend, great. By the time you get the inspection report back, isn't it nice to know that you can call that home warranty company and say, hey, listen, I need an electrician, I need a plumber, and all they have to pay is the deductible, right? A lot cheaper, all right? So is anybody else using home warranty plans for the sellers, or that as an incentive that you may potentially be paying for in order to get the listing?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. Do you use a specific company, Jill, if I may ask?
I have been using Choice and I use American Home Shield.
Okay, American Home Shield, there's HMS, there's 210, there's quite a few out there. So yeah, that's good. Anyone else? No one else is using home warranty plans? Nope. All right, no problem. But you're getting asked, right? When you're listing a property, doesn't the buyer normally ask for the home warranty plan, guys? Now?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, very good. All right. In addition to that, here it goes with the professional staging. We did speak about this. Staging a property does allow and does guarantee a faster sale. So even if you're not going to use a professional stager, you certainly can recommend potentially decluttering, taking away some of the items, toys, knickknacks, portraits, personalized portraits. That's usually you want to take out, correct? So by decluttering, deodorizing, depersonalizing, and fresh paint, that goes a long way, right? Doesn't it?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, I definitely go through with them after we sit down, after I get the listing. Okay. I go through the whole house with them. We walk from room to room and we say what needs to come off the kitchen, everything off the counter except for your essentials. If you don't use it every day, we need to put away. Okay.
Jill, I like your idea. You say you do it after you get the listing signed, right?
Right.
Not before. Okay. Okay.
No.
Well, I think I've done that. I've done that many times, and sometimes I forget and I go too far and I talk too much. Like all the agents, we love to talk and talk and talk, and we don't listen. And I go and tell them everything, and then they're like, "Well, now that you told us, thank you so much. We're going to probably take care of it from here on out." And I did everything that I was going to do, my entire marketing plan, and I need to stop talking. I usually speak too much, so that's just me. Clean and replace carpets. Yeah, you know what? If you can get away with cleaning them, that might help. But at the end of the day, replacing carpets can be expensive. So be cautious on that. Here was one item that I came across because I've seen this a lot. And I'm not sure if you guys have done this. Have you ever asked your home sellers to take their screens, their window screens? Anyone?
To do what?
To take out the window screens? To remove?
No.
New home builders usually do. Did you ever go to a new home builder and you'll see all the screens are all sitting in the garage? Do you know why?
It looks better and it's more pleasing to the eye.
Thank you. More sunlight comes through a clean window without a screen. They clean those windows inside and now nice and shiny. You ever walk in through some of these newer homes? How come there's no mini blinds? How come there's no or just on the side? It's because they want the sunlight to come through. They want you to believe that it's always going to be nice and sunny and airy. So again, psychologically, it does work. I've seen it. So just a word of caution. Professional photography. I think, Jill, you did say you're using a professional photographer. Is there a specific company that you guys use? You guys remember Mouse on House, True Place?
Yeah, I do remember those. Yeah, those were
Mouse
the
on House. Yeah,
those are the pioneers.
that goes back. Yeah, I remember when they were Mouse on House. And so I love this. Drones. Drones are number one hit nowadays. Anybody using drones for their listings?
Haven't done any drones.
They're out.
I haven't done any drones either.
Yella, did you use your drone, Mr. Yella?
No, no, you know what? It was done just very recently, Alfredo. Actually, one of my, this guy, he took a picture of the roof. And in fact, I mean, that was Actually, no, it worked out really nice because he was able to find out a small patch that needed to be fixed right next to chimney.
Wow.
And it was done in a matter of, less than 5 minutes.
Nice. Well, you know what? That's always good. I have seen inspectors.
Excuse me. I
Yes.
couldn't hear what you said if we use something. I couldn't hear clearly what you said if we use something.
Oh, drones. Are you using drones for your showing, so for photography and then also video?
If the photographer, has a drone, then I would use it. And that's not a problem because I'm going to put the cost on to the seller. But as far as the video, yes, I do video when I get the listing after I walk through the house, like I may do a video on Monday if the house is in decent order, it's in the estate sale. So hopefully they cleared out and decluttered a lot of junk. I mean, not junk, but a lot of items out from the house, you know, to make it presentable, to take photos. So I'm not calling this stuff junk. I'm just saying they needed to declutter some things because their mom had passed and everything, so.
I hear you. And again, it goes a long way to say that if you're going to spend the money on a drone, a professional photographer, make sure that the homeowner is also doing what they need to do, which is getting the home ready. And
Right.
not, sometimes you're going to feel, well, you know what, I think we're going to do the pictures here today. So now with drones, remember, there are companies out there who do them. Is you got to be away, I believe, a certain amount of miles away from Washington in order to do that. So I in Frederick, and out there they would do the drones coming straight in from the outside through the roof and inside the front door. They would just fly in. And beautiful, beautiful layouts. So if you've got the money and if you can do it, hey, by all means, certainly do that. So that could also be something that you would incorporate that into your listing presentation. Now, when strategically pricing your home, we did speak earlier a moment where we said, if you're going to price it too high, you're going to scare them away. You price it too low, you're going to give it away. It right has a lot to do with, I believe, Yella, you mentioned it is their timeline, correct? And knowing when that move has to be and or where or why, that really is key when coming to prices. Now, is anybody doing net sheets when you guys are pricing these homes? Are you doing that?
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. It's
Great. Great. Is anybody else using them, or you don't like using net sheets, if I may ask, just out of curiosity?
Net sheet
no,
is
okay.
I use leverage.
Okay, okay, that works.
How do I use leverage? I get my title company to write up an estimated net sheet for me, because that way I can have the correct transfer recordation tax instead of trying to figure it out on my own. And
All right.
I give my clients 3 different figures and try to let them know what they're going to net, because the price that you offer or they agree upon, you can either get a higher level or a lower amount. So I have to show them they have to be real. We have to be realistic.
Right. So when you're pricing those homes, let's suppose you're using comparables and you find a home similar to theirs, age-wise, size-wise, nothing really difference other than the staging. But if the last home sold there, let's say for 500, would you be giving them a range as to where you believe their home should be priced, or are you actually pricing the home for them?
No, I give them a range.
Yeah, you get.
I give them a range. You have to give them a range because you have to make them be in control of what it is. But if the range is too high and unrealistic, then that's when you go to, okay, I agree, I could list it for 515, but however, if we don't get any bites within 2 weeks, do I have your permission to go ahead and lower the price?
All right.
Or if we don't get any activity within a certain amount of time, then or you know if they choose the high side, I let them know, okay, well, you know, you're on the high end. Okay, so if it's on the high end, based on the CMA, if you price it within this range and this range, it's going to take you this long to sell. The average marketing time is this per our CMA. Okay, if you list it in this range, the average marketing time is this. So you understand that it may take longer to sell, and if we don't get any activity within a certain amount of time, then we need to make some price adjustments.
In your listing presentation, if you were to present it in that way, if I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but would you not incorporate a listing adjustment on the listing itself when you're getting it? so that it's already incorporated there. Like if you said, if in 2 weeks we're not getting the activities or getting at least a contract, we're going to drop the price by $10,000. Sign here today.
Mhm.
Has anybody done that?
I've done that, and some people are willing to sign it. Some people say, well, let's just wait and see.
Yeah, I don't propose that because you have this thing about electronic signatures and you can always get it updated if you need to through zip forms or whatever forms you use.
I
Yeah,
hear you. It's more like, I think however you feel the client's going to perceive it after speaking to them after a while, you know whether that's going to work or not. Because the last thing you want to do is lose the list. Yeah. So be cautious if you want to be that way.
What? You
Yes.
tried to?
Yeah, I already put it in.
Uh-huh.
But it don't work.
Elio, are you talking to us, hon?
Oh,
Elliot?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys.
Oh, okay.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Turn the
I was
wa-
like, I'm putting what in? I'm not done anything. All right.
Yeah, sure.
Continue.
Okay, now, for instance, my listing in Baltimore, okay, I gave my client a price range, and of course, they chose the high end, okay? And I reiterated, that's the high end. So if we don't see any activity, I said, because Baltimore is a very different market,
Mhm.
okay? The neighborhoods you'll have a nice house here, and then you have trash around it. So it's very difficult to price sometimes. So, I gave them the prices, they chose the high end. So I said, if we don't receive any activity within a certain amount of time, then we're gonna have to revisit our pricing, okay? We just revisited the pricing, we just dropped the price, okay? I said, if we don't see activity, that means we're priced too high.
Yeah.
Okay, if there's no active, people are not even looking at it in the seller's market, we are priced too high.
Correct. Well, good. I'm glad you mentioned that in the beginning because the last thing they want, if you don't mention that at the beginning, then you're coming after them after a month to drop the price by $10,000, $20,000. You haven't done your job.
Mhm.
And last thing I want to do and see agents do now, and I've seen it here and there. It's not as common right now, but I do see in the past where there were agents that were constantly getting listings over and over. And I'm thinking, how are you guys getting so many listings? And I kept on looking at their listings after a while. I said, well, they're overpricing it. So you're overpromising, you're telling your sellers, look, I can sell it for more than what it's previously sold and just sign here and I'll get the listing. It's not a problem.
Mhm.
Do you want to be that kind of an agent who's going to overprice and get listings all day long? Or are you going to be the kind of agent that's going to tell your clients the truth, show them what they're really going to sell it for, what the market's actually going to dictate so that you can actually get paid, correct?
Right.
Yeah, be honest upfront with the client. That's what honesty is the best thing that you can ever do with clients.
Exactly. If you tell them the truth, they're going to believe you throughout the entire transaction. And I always say this, look, I know it's going to hurt in the beginning, but I got to be honest with you. I can't sell your house for $600,000. It's just, I can't. It's just not there. And let me show you why.
Mhm.
If you speak to them and you connect with them on a personal level and you've earned their trust, you're going to earn their business. And that is really what it comes down to. When you're sitting down at that table or at their home in their living room and you're going through the listing presentation, I would say take the time in the beginning to know your clients, know their needs, get to know them. Share some of your personal things that you've done in the past, where you've come from, your upbringing, school, children, because at the end of the day, they need to trust you. They're about to give you the keys to the item that they own. And they're entrusting you to make sure you get that home sold, correct? All right. So target marketing. Is anybody utilizing social media to also send your listings out there? Facebook ads.
Facebook ads, Instagram.
Yes.
Honestly, I need to do it more often. I dropped off. I got lazy.
Okay.
Sorry. But, I was doing Facebook and Instagram.
Are you using your business page? Are you using
my
a
business?
page for-
Yes, my business page. My kids tell me no one uses Facebook anymore. That's the old people who are buying houses, dear, is what I tell them.
You've got to put it on Facebook in the business page. Then it launches in Twitter, and then it goes from there everywhere else. So look, you got to start somewhere, okay?
Mm.
And right now, who's the next biggest buyers? Where are next buyers coming from? Somebody tell me, where are the buyers coming from now?
Is it the millennials?
Millennials. And millennials, are they searching online or are they picking up the phone and calling their real estate company?
No, they're searching
Online.
online. Everybody starts.
They're
out
online.
first.
They're on Twitter, they're just clicking it away. So you need that connection. You need to be on social media. So if you guys have not seen or have had the chance to see Lindsay's presentation, she did do a Facebook ad presentation not too long ago. And I know we're doing Canva, which is coming up, designing with Canva. It's next week on the 22nd. Certainly don't miss that. If there's any trainings that you have missed, we are also putting those in the library that are going to be now available to all agents who've not been able to see our previous training classes online. And you can certainly see them there as well. Okay. Any about target marketing?
No, but I will tell you that I did take a social media class a little while ago. And they said that if right now, if you were to choose,
Are you there? Jill?
oh, sorry, I accidentally muted myself.
Oh, okay. I was like, what happened? Did I do something? I thought it was me. I was
So I hit my keyboard and it muted me.
Okay.
I don't know what you heard.
No, I didn't hear anything. So
We couldn't
Okay.
hear anything.
They said that when you're if you have to select one social media platform to be on,
Mhm.
because you should be on some type of social media platform, it would be Instagram. Okay.
the
And that's
Instagram.
yeah, and because Instagram is following, I don't remember what the numbers were, but the numbers on Instagram were the highest. That's where you got the most traffic. And with
It is.
Instagram, you can boost. Now, the other thing with I do Facebook and Instagram because, of course, they're combined. So when I put it on Instagram, it automatically posts it on Facebook because I have it set up that way.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whenever I post on Facebook, well, I'm sorry, on Instagram, will automatically post on Facebook. So then I only have to do it once. But you know,
Are you also putting in that ad? Are you also putting, let's say, your website so they have
yes,
to go and like a
yes,
landing page so you can
yes,
gather information? Good. Good.
yes, yes.
That's important because it's not just getting the message out, but also you need to be able to capture who's actually going there and be able to utilize that. Yes.
Right. And also on Instagram, you can see the traffic that you're getting. You know,
Which
and
is
you
a
can
good way
gauge
of an
it. Yeah.
indicator to show to your sellers as to the amount of traffic that's coming through or not.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. And there was one other thing about Instagram that I liked is, well, same thing with Facebook also. You can boost it.
Yes.
So when you can boost on Instagram, you can boost on Facebook. At the end of the time period, it'll give you a report as to how far your message got, how many people looked at it, how many people
Mhm.
liked it, and all that information. And yeah, I do put that in a report to show my client.
Oh, that's
And
great.
yeah,
Good.
I use the showing time report
Mhm.
that tells everything that you've done, how many people showed your property, what their feedback is, and you can include any other details about that to your client. And I just
Certainly
send them off
helpful.
that. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I send them a weekly report to show what activity happened, and they love it because you're keeping in touch, because I think that's a thing
And
that
that's
a lot of
always the
people
key
complain
thing,
about.
staying in touch, keeping them informed, keeping them involved, keeping that line of communication open, because when they don't hear from you, see from you, or get any information like you just said, they're going to feel as if though, what did you do for me? You just came in, put the sign in the front yard, and that was it, and I never saw you again. So don't be that secret agent. So yeah, stick around. Now, does anybody sell or send just listed cards or anything to your sphere or even past clients when you have listings? Is that something still agents are doing?
I have to say that I used to do it. I have not been doing it lately.
Anyone else? Just listed
I
cards?
haven't been doing it lately either, but I'm trying to get back into maybe, like you said, neighborhood prospecting or something like that. Nature,
Yeah.
trying to get somebody to send out something that, saying that that I just sold a home in your neighborhood. I'm not going to go all the way out to Joppa, I don't think. But anyways, maybe something a little bit more closer, or I can still go to Joppa. I just, if I get the listing, then that's not a problem. I don't have to keep going out there for the buyers and to show. So that's good too.
Yep. I have not done any just listed postcards in a while, but just like Jill mentioned, I'd rather just do a online flyer and push it through Instagram or Facebook, which I need to start doing more. Just like Jill said, Instagram has, great, it's like user friendly, anyone can use it. It's easy to push your marketing through there. And then you could, yeah.
It is. Now, reverse marketing is something that has been working, and I know some agents here have been starting to use that, and I'm not sure if you guys are aware of it. So
What is it?
You've reverse marketing. So
reverse marketing. Yeah.
through Bright MLS, you all have access to Remind, and Remind gives you the ability to pick a certain neighborhood or area, and it then recategorizes homes for homeowners who have been there 8, 10, or plus years, and or who have equity of $150,000 or $200,000 or more. And you can target those potential future sellers ahead of time. So when we say target marketing, not just for when you have listings, but also for future sellers, I would say look into using Remind. If you're not utilizing it, there are tutorials within Bright MLS. It is a free service. You are paying for it. I would urge you to use that because it is certainly a good tool to use, especially now when you're doing target marketing. Okay. Has anybody used Remind or is using Remind at this time?
I use it to look up information, even for pre-listing purposes.
Yes.
Whenever I get a listing, and before I do my CMA, I always go into Remind to see what Remind says, and then I do my CMA.
It's perfect sense. The more information you have, the better it's going to go. Yeah, completely agree.
Plus, I like the fact that on Remind, you can see the mortgage information, how much they owe, who the current lender is.
It's amazing the information that's out there. And if you look further down, and you can even see the relatives and everybody who's associated with the property.
You can even get phone numbers, guys. Phone numbers.
Yes, thank you.
You can even get phone numbers.
Yep,
phone
you
numbers.
Sure can.
Yes, you can. They're out there. They're out
all
there.
the details.
And it tells you the zoning, it tells you all that through Remind.
Yep.
And it has a phone app. It's like phone friendly. You know?
Yep. Yep.
It's pretty cool.
It is. Cool. If you're not utilizing this, I would urge you guys to start looking into it because it can certainly be, it's a great tool to use if you're certainly looking for new clients. Immediate response. Now, if you're going to use this page, please make sure you're actually going to do what it says here. So I've always incorporated, and I use this, and I always let them know, look, I'm going to be here for you, and you're certainly going to get the service I'm providing. If I get calls, emails, I will respond immediately because I'm here, I'm your advocate, I'm your listing agent, I'm your realtor for life. You came to me or you were referred to me for a reason, and I will deliver. So please, if you're using this page, don't overpromise and underdeliver. Be careful. I've seen agents say too much, and then at the end of the day, they don't call back. I'll get the calls here at the office. I'm calling my agent. He's not responding. I have somebody who's here. He can't open the door. I'm like, where's the agent? So please, if you're going to say you're going to be responding, please make sure that you will be doing so. Okay. Open houses. Oh my Lord, COVID. Open houses has been away for over a year. I'm starting to see a few of them come back. Has anybody else been to an open house lately or seen those happening nowadays?
Yes.
Yeah, I held open houses very recently, Alfredo, but there are not too many people coming, just maybe, 3-4 groups.
Yeah, it's hit or miss here and there. So I'm always cautious as to what you're going to offer, but I'd say this, look, it's going to be based on the home, the situation, because let's suppose if they're still living there, they may not want people coming through. and that I understand. But if the house is empty and if it's staged, I'm thinking, let everybody come and take advantage of the fact that you now have the ability to not just market the home, but market yourself. Because as you know, at least 6 out of 10 potential home buyers that walk into an open house don't have a real estate agent. And this is where you will then capture additional clients. So holding an open house, like in the first instance here, neighbors party only. Look, I used to do the wine and cheese parties only for the neighbors. And the reason I would do this is because I wanted to get the gossipers. I wanted to get the people who are going to be nosing around every time I have an open house. I would rather get rid of them first. So if I invite a neighbor over, or the neighbors in general, they get to come to see the home. Yeah, they're going to critique it. Oh my God, she took the picture down. Oh Lord, she changed the color. Oh my God, she put the carpet in this room. You know what? Let them talk. Let them gossip. Let them have a glass of wine. And you know what? At the end of the day, they're gone. Because what I would hate to happen is for me to hold an actual open house, and here comes the neighbors, and they're going to start talking while I'm holding an open house, and they're going to start saying all the negative stuff about the home. And oh my God, Susie, she tore out that wall, and I hate the fact, you know what? I don't need it. So I'd say do a neighbors first. You can possibly do brokers open if you have the ability to do that as well. And then of course, your actual open house. But the more visibility and the more traffic you guys have come to a home, it helps you sell this home a lot quicker. The voice gets out there. The message gets, people are actually talking about it. And that's really what you want to do. So has anybody done an open house recently? I'm just curious. Anyone on their home listings?
Did one a
I
few
did.
months back.
How did it go?
It actually went well. It was an occupied property, and it's COVID,
Yeah.
and it was around late spring, or no, mid-spring. So a lot of people were out, and I had a line all day around the block.
Wow.
So yeah, so I mean, it went well. I mean,
Good.
we got a contract from one of the people, actually 2 contracts from 2 of the people that attended the open house. But
Wow.
yeah, so it went fine. But I just had to make sure that only one group came in at a time, and it was only 2 people could come in at a time.
Yeah, you got to be cautious.
So,
About that,
yeah.
but
And
at the end of the day, it was a successful open
it
house.
was, yeah, it was. It
You
definitely was.
yes, you sold it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Anybody else using open houses? No?
Congrats, Joe. Congrats, Joe. That's good to
Oh,
hear.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
congratulations, Jill.
Very
Thank you.
good.
I tell you,
Very good.
it was a long day. I tell you that much.
It was worth it, though. It was worth it.
But it was
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
Because
what we
you gotta-
do, right? That's what
you-
we do as agents.
Right. You had to keep the COVID thing in mind. You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay.
booties, they had to come in, they had to sanitize their hands. You got to make sure the pen is clean, and you sanitize each pen. So it was work. It was work.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Alfredo,
But it went well.
Alfredo, I held up. I held open houses the last 3 weekends, and there were not that many. Actually, one weekend, one day, nobody even showed up.
Mhm.
I held that for about 4 hours from 12 to 4 on Saturday, but nobody showed up. But next day there were some 2 to 3 parties they came. But one of the problems we are confronting is actually the seller. She bought that home in 2005 and around 600,000, and now she spent some money for the repairs, and we had some mold problem we had to take care. Also, after we put it on the market, actually, that mold showed up later on. So, and also she wanted to list it at 650, even though her CMA was showing up around 600. And it has been almost 3 weeks, and we don't have any offers. And that's the situation right now. And we used to 20,000, and still, but obviously, we lost very valuable time.
Yeah. Well, look,
Yeah.
if you want me to look at it with you, I'd be more than glad to. And if you want me to, help you with that or getting the price, have you reached out to the sellers to get a price adjustment yet or not?
Oh yeah. I talk to her pretty much almost every day.
But if you need any help, just let me know, okay?
I will. I certainly will.
Sounds good.
Do you think
Great.
it's price? What do you think about the pricing, Ella?
Yeah, we reduced actually, from 649 to 629. And I asked her, that has been about a week. And I told her, we really put the price, higher than what the market offers. And she wants to wait for another 2 to 3 weeks. I told her, that'll be too late. If we are going to reduce the price, we should do that now. But that's where we are right now.
So, Yella, just out of curiosity, if I may interject here, Yella, just out of curiosity, other than dropping the price, are you offering anything else like a buyer incentive, like a bonus to the buyer's agent, or some closing cost assistance to the buyers, or a free warranty plan, anything?
We have a home warranty that's going to be transferred to the buyer, but
Okay.
other than
How about a bonus?
not offering any-
How about a buyer's agent bonus, $1,000 to the agent in addition to your regular commission if you bring a valid buyer and the contract signed by the end of the month?
I think the seller, she's already complaining that she is spending about $30,000 for the commission, and I don't know whether she'll go along with another $1,000. She
Well, can
complains
you
all the
split the
time.
$1,000? But see, Yella, you got to keep looking at the ways to negotiate that. How about
Right.
$500 from her, $500 from you? It's not much.
I know, I realize, yeah, but I never proposed that to her.
Just throwing it out there, just in case.
Yeah.
Right. So when
Thanks.
negotiating deals, please understand when you're speaking to your potential sellers, let them know, look, at the end of the day, a listing agent negotiates deals like, let's say, like a conductor does with an orchestra. You've got a lot of moving parts. You've got inspectors, appraisals, and a lot of other things can happen. Or you're going to get multiple offers, escalation clauses, cash investors, 1031 exchanges, investors. And cash isn't always good. So please be cautious out there. Has anybody worked with cash buyers? You've had cash buyers before, Jill?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So I always say be cautious with the cash buyers. Cash doesn't mean.
Yes, especially investors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and see, it depends on what type of, what you mean by cash, because people have different idea what cash is.
Thank you. When I say
Exactly.
cash, I mean, is it liquid cash, number one?
Right.
Is it here in the States or is it overseas? Is it sitting in a retirement account of
Right.
401k, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, Roths? I mean, it could take weeks, months, maybe even to get that money out. So
Mhm.
Is a home equity loan the same as cash?
cash isn't king here.
No,
No.
no, it's
So-
So
cash
if
is
somebody
cash.
says they're cash buyer, but they had the funds in a home equity loan, then they're not cash buyers.
Well,
Uh,
is the loan already processed? Do they already have the money?
Yes.
Okay, and so if they've already gotten the loan, been approved, and the money has been transferred to their account. Is it, because there's a home equity loan and there's a line of credit. Which one is it?
It's the, they're actually getting a line of credit for one of their properties that they own in Abington, Maryland. And as soon as the bank approves it, then the bank is going to put the money into their account.
Okay, so it's not cash yet because the
It's
bank
not
has
cash,
to
it's
approve
not
it.
liquid. So the word
Yeah,
that
the
you
bank has
use
to
here is
approve it.
liquid. If it's not
Mhm.
liquid cash,
Guys, I have a question if you guys don't mind.
yeah, go ahead, Elio.
Yeah, so would you consider liquid cash something that can be withdrawn? Like, I mean, something that can be ready to go within 10 days? Because, for instance, let's say title work takes about 7 to 10 days.
Mhm.
Then all you got to do is close after that. Would you consider that a good cash buyer? Somebody that
I would say, where's the
you know,
money?
even though
What
they
kind of
have no
Yeah.
funds or-
Yes and no. I gotta ask, what kind of account is that cash in? Just,
Yeah.
Yeah, like let's say is in any account, but they can, you know, they can request it and have it in their hands within 7 to 10 days.
I'm
Would
not
you
saying that's
consider
good.
that?
That's probably a good thing, but I would probably say, what kind of deposit are they putting down first? That's always a key indicator as
Mm.
well.
Yeah,
So
and what
those-
are the stipulations to getting that cash? Are there any stipulations?
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Or do
right.
they just have to make the withdrawal slip and get the money?
No, I mean, most definitely is with stipulations. That's why it takes 10 days. Or let's say it's like from like a 401k. How long does it take for you to receive funds if you want to take out?
It
401k,
varies. I think it varies
Yeah.
depending on who's holding it.
Yeah.
Okay, it varies.
The government
Okay.
entities, if you're a government worker, they hold it on another account. I think it's a 203k, is it? And then
No, it's a TSP, isn't it?
yes, that one can take over a month.
Okay.
Ks can take over a little bit over a month as well.
Yeah.
Okay, they
And
take over a month.
it depends on where they have funds, because some 401ks you can get it withdrawn in a couple days.
Right.
Some of them
Yeah.
it'll take like 2 weeks. So it's best for
Right.
you to find out what type of fund is being held in and how long
Yeah.
will the process take for you to be able to withdraw the money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because they
Sure.
sometimes require certain documentation in order to withdraw
Yeah.
the money.
Basically, since your client, which is a cash buyer, there is no lender involved. So you have to come in and step in, and ask those questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the lender usually asks those questions and like takes care of the finance side for you. But if you have a cash buyer, you have to like ask those little questions and become a lender kind of, like a lender / and ask those
Yeah.
questions about how fast they can
You
get
do.
it out, because
You do.
that will help you make the offer. Let's say, look, wow, you can take it out in 4 days, bro. Wow, that's great. We can say we can close in 10 days. This could probably get us the contract.
Yeah.
You know?
And then there are those letters that come in on your listing that says where, that they say they're purchasing cash, and then they have to
Right.
be approved by this hard money lender. And I'm like, that's not cash.
Correct.
That's not green. Where would you get that from?
Oh, hard money lenders. Oh no, I stay away from those.
Yeah.
I've heard
No.
horror stories from those, unfortunately. Yeah. So again, you are the negotiator. You are really looking out for the best interest of your clients throughout the entire transaction. And as you and I both know, even at the end of the day, the actual day of settlement, again, remember, there's going to be a final walkthrough. And who knows, something went wrong. They're wanting money. You're going to have to, again, negotiate that as well. So you are really with your clients from beginning to end. And you've got to make sure you inform them of that, because this is what they're really paying your commission for. You are the professional. You are the licensed agent who's out there working for them. And they need to understand that there is a professional standards that you all are abiding by, and that the reason why they're going to hire you is because you're going to give them all of that. And you're going to make sure they're going to get the best price that you can certainly do so. And of course, when I always say at the end of the day, when you are now going to, at the end of this, I always include these reviews. If you can, start doing this. If you have not yet started doing so, and actually put them on, because you will need. Is anybody using Zillow? Just out of curiosity, Zillow adds nothing. Okay.
No.
Zillow, you get graded based on the number of reviews, the 5, 3, 4, 5-star ratings that your clients will put there. And that actually boosts the number of leads that you can potentially get from a certain area. But at the end of the day, I will say, try to get testimonials, because these are the things that you're going to be able to put on your website. You can also then use it when you're doing your listing presentations, or even working with buyers. It's always something to have in handy. And I would say, pick the ones that you have. I've got a number of testimonials. These are the ones that I've recently done. I picked a few here and there, and I'll tweak them. At the end of the day, these are true buyers. These are true sellers who I've worked with in the past. And I've got stories behind each and every one of them. So anybody ever asks me, I'll tell you exactly what happened to Miss Albertine or Clark or even Doreen, who just bought her first condo here. But it's always something to bring home. It's always something to show. Again, this is sort of your presentation card. Think of this as your resume when you are getting in front of the client, okay? Any questions, guys? I know we covered a lot of information today. You will be getting this power presentation on your email this afternoon. You will be able to then tweak it, make it your own. But if you wish to maybe, again, sit down with me, or if you guys want to do a role play of doing presentations, I'd be more than glad to do so as well. If you can't come into the office, we can do it via Zoom, and we are here to help you as well.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great. Thank you. 'Cause I was gonna ask you
Yeah.
what office you out of, because I don't even know.
Okay, I'm in Silver Spring. I'm so sorry. Are you guys Silver Spring, Elite? Where are we
Are
at?
you gonna be there tomorrow? Maybe I'll put the name with the face.
I'm the first one. I'm the
I'm
first
here.
one.
You're never there?
Come on down. I have
You never there?
names.
Okay.
I've seen your names, guys. I see your contract, so I see the names, but I haven't seen.
Not me, because I'm not from there.
I haven't seen. No, not you, but I've seen Jill. I've seen Yella. I
That's
saw.
not fair. Oh, you're the one who replaced, are you the one who's the first door on the
Yes.
right-hand side?
There
or
you
the
go.
left-hand side? And you're the one who I didn't know that you had taken over a place, and the guy who was fixing your computer, I thought
Yes.
that was his new office. Remember, that's me, Julia.
That was you. Okay. Okay. Now you know who I am. Okay. Well, look, I'm here, guys. So all you have to do is call, ask, schedule a time or appointment. If you want to do a Zoom, I'm glad to assist you guys here.
See me, see? Here I am.
There you are. Now I see you. Now I see you. Okay. Now I know who you
Now,
are.
we
You
all
had
can
your
see
camera
you.
off all this time. I'm like,
We all
what?
can see you.
But I gotta go, I gotta get to the car, and I'm just trying to finish listening to what you all saying, because I have to go to an appointment.
No problem. I completely understand. Listen, guys, this is a lot of good information. Anyone have any questions or any concerns that I can address here now? Any, please?
None
Jill,
that I can think of.
Yella, you good? All right.
Yeah.
Nope, we're good.
One more time, I want to say thank you for joining me. I know we went a little bit over the time that we were going to do so, but there was a lot of information to cover here. So again, we will be sending out the power presentation to you. You can tweak it, make it your own, change it however you want. But again, if you need some assistance in going through, or you want to role play the presentation with me, I can be the seller, you can be the listing, and I'll go back and forth with you, because you're going to come objections that you're going to come across.
Aw.
We haven't discussed those, but we can certainly role play, and that's going to give you, again, the ammunition that you need, as well as the lingo that you're going to have to respond to, especially when you come across sellers, because not all sellers are the same. And
Right.
there's going to be a lot of questions sometimes that you're going to get, and you're not going to know how to respond. So let's get you prepared. And if that's something you need, please call me. Okay? And we can
Thank
schedule.
you. Thank you, Alfredo.
Thank you very much.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you at the next training schedule. Don't forget, next Tuesday, the 22nd, you have Designing with Canva. And then on the 29th, we have a buyer consultation, which I will also be hosting here as well. Okay?
What date
Sounds
is that?
good.
Thank
Thank you.
thank you.
Sure, the 22nd and the 29th. Mhm.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
All
All
right,
right,
very
thank you
good,
very much.
guys.
Enjoy your day,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank
All
you,
right,
bye-bye.
thank you so much.
Gotta
Take
go,
care.
bye.
Yeah,
Thank
bye.
you. Go,
Nice
go.
seeing you,
Thank
Jill.
guys. Take care. Thank
Take
you.
care.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Bye.
All right. All right, take care, Yella.
Same.
All right.
Yeah. See you soon.
See you
I
soon.
need-
All right.
I need a
Thank
lot of
you.
help from you.
Just call, come. All right, Mr. Yella. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.